For our Vice Special Report, Fighting ISIS, we embedded with the Peshmerga forces fighting to defend Iraqi Kurdistan. A few weeks ago, we went back to those front lines to see how they're faring in the battle against ISIS. This was mortared yesterday. They said 5 mortars landed very close to this position. And yesterday afternoon there was an airstrike against an ISIS position over there where there was lots of movement. So here there's a river separating the Peshmerga position from the ISIS positions, which are 3 kilometers away. Qadir Hassan, one of the Peshmerga deployed here, told us about the most recent fighting.
منشآتنا ذلك خدمينا وكو مدرسة مشروعية وجسر زورشة استعمال إحداثيات كان لديني لين هذا للعلم داعش استغلال ذلك. There's a lot of movement. There's I don't know, 10 or 11 vehicles and 2 or 3 very large trucks moving around. I mean, if it's true, if they are resupplying and bringing in men, then they're doing it with a surprising amount of ease. And what they think it means is that they're bringing lots of people in. There have also been 3 passes by jets overhead, so they're getting very excited that there are going to be airstrikes. One of the guys said to me on the way here, if it weren't for the airstrikes, which have intensified recently, then ISIS would take Erbil in a day. And they said they've become a lot more aggressive here. Okay. That's the 6th jet we've heard come over, and there's black smoke on the horizon, so it looks like there's been a strike. سپاسی او هاوکاریە ئاسمانیە دەکەین بە ئام شتێکی زۆر باشە هاوکاریشی باشی پێشمەرگەیە بەڵام ئەگەر لەسەر عەرز پێشمەرگە بە قووەت نەبی لە ئاسمان ناتوانرێت داعش لەناو بردێت هەر هەرچی بکە فەڕەزنا ئێستا 100 قۆمەلە لێرە بدە ئەگەر کەسێک لەسەر عەرز نەبی عەرز ئازاد نابی عەرز ڕزگار ناکرێت داعش لەناو ناچێت. At the minute it feels like there's enough for things to stay the same but not enough to actually let you win. طبعا الفرق لبين إمكانياتي تشكو تقمني داعش لقى بيشمرقي هالقياسني يعني مقارنة يعني أوان أقل صدمة أما سين يعني حفتا لصفرته. So this is a old Russian anti-aircraft gun apparently from the Saddam. Yeah, Saddam bought it. One of Kurdistan's most influential politicians, Masrour Barzani, told us about the struggle to get weapons into the hands of the Peshmerga. We spent 4 or 5 days with the Peshmerga on the front lines, and they said apart from some Milan rockets from Germany, they were getting no support from the outside world. Is that still the case now?
Peshmerga weapons are very obsolete, very old, and this is very unfortunate because everybody is praising the Kurds as the most effective force on the ground against ISIS. But when it comes to arming the Kurds, we've been crying out many times for more modern and more effective weapon systems for the Kurds, but unfortunately we haven't received any, especially when it comes to the heavy arms. And I think it is the responsibility of the international community to provide whatever they can and to arm the Kurds exactly as they would arm their own sons and daughters. We are fighting, we are giving blood, we are getting killed. All we want is weapons.
همو رؤساء دول أوروبي وأمريكانيش دلين كرد بيشمرقة شر لجاتي همو دنيا آزادك إذا باشا ما دام الدنيا آزادي با هاو كاري منوكا بابو خواني القيناك أما ليلة لسر عرض أما شر لكين با خلشي وان أفرادي وان نيبولا با تشاكو بيداوستي من بدنك أو شرعي بيبكنا.
The irony is that all these weapons have to go through Baghdad, and Baghdad, with all due respect, but the forces of the Iraqi army, now they're trying to gain some victories in some areas, but when you compare what's happening in other parts of Iraq and in Kurdistan, you see that Peshmergas have been much more effective and much more successful in defeating the enemy. We don't understand why this routine, why these supplies have to go through Baghdad and not come to Kurdistan.
And if you don't get the weapons and supplies you need, how long do you think you can hold on for?
ناچارين حتى آخر نفس دفاع لولاتي خومان ولا آزادي خومان ولا أزموني حريمي كردستان.
The more ISIS stays there, bigger of a problem and threat they become, and we lose more resources, we lose men every day, and we are not reinforcing these forces by anyone else. As long as they keep territory, they will always be able to recruit more people and to reorganize themselves and to launch attacks against us or anywhere else.
On our way back from the front line, we met a group of defectors who said they were forced to fight for ISIS. They said they were hopeful that ISIS would be defeated soon. Can you explain why you left? So when you say they treated you badly, what did they do?
قتل يعني سجن وكل شيء يعني
كل شيء مو بأمر الله هم
يعني كان اللي قصر يجلدونه أو يسجنونه.
يعني مدن اللحاية يطولها لازم، والهاي يقصرها. المنتسب مطارد يعني ما يعرف يسعى يقتلوه.
And when you joined, did you join voluntarily?
ما حد ضمنهم.
ما يعني أبد.
ما حد ضمنهم. احنا انهزمنا من عندهم. بس انهزمنا منهم.
And what kind of position are they in now? Are they in a strong position now, or are they getting weakened?
هم ضعفوا حيل، يعني انهاروا بعد ما لهم أي دور. بس شنو احنا صار لنا طريق جينا عاد يعني.
And how many of them are there in Mosul now?
من العدد الأولي تقريبا ما يقارب 25% عن العدد الأولي.
يعني قليل حيل انهاروا بعد ما لهم أي.
مو مثل الثقل الأولي.
If you compare ISIS today to where they began, of course now they are much stronger than when they began. But if you compare them now than a few months ago, of course, I mean, you can say that, now they have lost more territory. I have no doubt that ISIS will be militarily defeated if the will is there and if the international community is fully engaged and is sincere in defeating ISIS. However, we have to take a step backward and look at why ISIS is here. What are the causes that led to creation of ISIS? I think the roots of this problem are more political, and the vacuums that these political failures left behind economically and socially and security-wise led to the creation of these sort of organizations. And if ISIS is defeated, but if the roots of the problem are not addressed and solved and proper solutions are not found for it, similar groups in the future may reappear.